All right, man, we back. Marcy Sports Talk, we in the building. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, some rumors coming out about Andre Drummond and the Charlotte Hornets. Let y'all know what I think about it, man. Appreciate it, man. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Share the video, man. And quite frankly, they say, Charlotte, there's rumors out there, and I say rumors, and I put emphasis on rumors, that Charlotte want to make a strong run at Andre Drummond. Now, they ain't had the best of luck with big men, okay? Cody Zeller was, he never really panned out. I think they had Frank Kaminsky. Both of them, Cody Zeller and Frank Kaminsky, they never lived up to the bill coming out of college, Indiana, Wisconsin, respectively. But they solid when they get at Spurks. Kaminsky's been solid, and Cody Zeller's been solid. Just inconsistent. That's a difference from a good NBA player and kind of like an average fringe guy. It's consistency. You know what I'm saying? If we know you're gonna come out there and give us, in 20 minutes, you're gonna give us 10 points, 4 rebounds and 7 assists, or 5 assists and a steal, you're gonna give a great effort. You can find your way on the floor. But if you can't be consistent, you out there to shoot the ball and you can't knock down a shot, and let's say your percentage is 40%, that's what they expect you out there knocking down 10% some nights and 20 and 30% some nights. That's the difference. But Andre Drummond is a consistent NBA player for the most part. You're going to get 15 rebounds from him. You at least going to get around 15 points from him. And you're going to get, this year, you're going to get a hell of an effort from him. When everybody playing for the bag, everybody give you a hell of an effort. You know what I'm saying? But, right now, just from Andre Drummond perspective, I'm going to give it to him. Give it to you this way. He supposed to be getting like a supermax contract. And Charlotte willing to pay him a supermax and not willing to pay Kemba Walker the supermax is the big question. And another big question is, would he want to stay in Charlotte? You know what I'm saying? Charlotte, Queen City, not a bad city, man. It's changed over the years, to be honest. And with that being said, Kemba Walker really liked it down there, and I got family members that like it down there. I went down there in like the 90s and early 2000s, and it's cool. It's definitely a different shift from the city of Detroit. Obviously it's the country and a little bit different things, but I enjoy Southern life, and I enjoy the weather and all that other good stuff as well. But that's what you got to ask yourself. Is Andre Drummond definitely not opting back in unless an injury or something happened. And would he want to stay in Charlotte is the question. And, the Graham guys doing well. Rozier, he okay. And Miles Bridges, they really got a team that fits what Andre Drummond does well. And he ain't got to worry about Grandpa Rose and Grandpa Blake Griffin trotting up the floor, you know what I'm saying, or being injured or not being injured. Them young boys in Charlotte, they exceeding expectations. I believe they got a playoff spot right now, technically. They exceeding expectations. They is running and gunning. And with Drummond athletic ability, Drummond really never had a point guard that I can really remember that's really run and gun with him. You know what I'm saying? And I think that team will fit what Drummond does well. Obviously, if he want to win the championship, damn, soup spilling. Obviously, if he want to win the championship, then we talking about a different situation than Charlotte ain't in. But if it's just about the money and being in a solid situation, if Charlotte willing to pay him, maybe it's a little bit less than what they would have gave Kemba Walker, then cool. But they've been searching for a solid 5 for years. Bismack Biyombo, Zeller, Frank Kaminsky. You can go on and on with a few other guys. Hernan Gomez that came from the Knicks, who's still on their roster. There's probably some other big fellas that I'm missing as well too. So they really need a guy like Andre Drummond. And if they got Andre Drummond, that's a playoff team. The way they're playing now. Now it's Graham and Miles Bridges and the Jackson, PJ Washington, from Memphis. Are they playing a little bit above their heads right now? Malik Monk having a few good games. Yeah, but right now they athletic, man. And in a league where there's a lot of old slow dudes in the league, that team can get effort. They're being coached well. Mitch Kupchak then put some good pieces in play there. And with Andre Drummond, that's a playoff team. Why they playing how they playing. Now, will they continue for 82 games a season to continue to play above their head, and will Rozier be able to give you that effort every night? You know what I'm saying? And will Graham be able to get an effort every night when scouting reports say, oh, man, he can't go left, and can he make the adjustment? So, but Drummond to be good there because they get up and down the flow. Ain't no Trout, ain't no, a controlled pace. No, them young dudes, Washington and Monk and Rozier and Graham and Bridges, they getting up the flow. They gonna be like Live City over there. They gonna get up the floor. So that's a good fit from Andre Drummond perspective. That's one to give it from Drummond's perspective. Like I said, the city of Charlotte is solid. Really good city. Shout out to Queen City. And I think with Kupchak there, they can say what they want to say about the Laker Nation. Say what about him? He putting a solid team together, but they pay Drummond. I think Drummond would stay there. But obviously Andre Drummond being in Detroit since the bad years after the going to work Pistons, he probably want to go somewhere and win. But I think his money takes precedent over that because he wouldn't stay in Detroit if Detroit willing to pay him. But if Detroit do pay Andre Drummond, I'm getting to the compensation for Drummond. But if Detroit do play Andre Drummond, then Blake Griffin will more likely be up out of there and Reggie Jackson. They would rebuild with or around Andre Drummond. And I say with or around Andre Drummond with emphasis on that. But as far as the compensation, I need at least 2 first-round picks. I need at least 2 first-round picks to even get me to start talking. You know what I'm saying? I need one for next year's draft and the year after that. I might need 3 first-round draft picks. Because really, who I really want off that team, to be honest, I like Bridges, but is he really going to change? Is he just going to be a part of a new core in Detroit coming through? Because if you get rid of Drummond, you're probably getting rid of Blake Griffin and Reggie Jackson. You start all the way over. He going to grow with Sayoko Duamba, whatever his name is. He going to grow with that kid. That's the only kid I really can think that's going to be in it for the long haul for maybe the next 5 to 10 years. So you're looking at Bridges, Graham, Washington is the Bridges in Washington. If I get them 2, then I want 2 first-round draft picks. That's how I'm looking at it. That's how I'm looking at it. If I can get Bridges in Washington and 2 1s, I consider doing it. But obviously, the contracts got to match up because they both on rookie deals. So you're looking at like Nicholas Batum. I think his contract coming up pretty soon. Because I could be wrong. And I don't know who else got a big contract, but I know Nicholas Batum got a big contract. So you're looking at that situation. Then you also looking at you need a big fella to replace Andre Drummond. So obviously you're looking at Cody Zeller or Bismack Biyombo, who just got a contract. So you might be looking at a situation with Biyombo, Nicholas Batum, and then the guys that you want in the 2 first, and then you probably got to match up some guys sent over there, maybe a Civi, a Kyrie Thomas, or somebody like that to match up the contracts to go over. But if they move Andre Drummond, it should be a complete rebuild, in my opinion. But that's what I'm just starting to look at. But that's kind of what I'm looking to get for him if I'm looking at Charlotte. But overall, I will wait to see what this team is. And I said it before. I did a video, should the Pistons fire Dwayne Casey? And he the problem is absolutely not. Team just old. And incorporating some of those young guys in Charlotte will make the team a little bit more fast paced. But that would just signify that the era's coming over in Detroit and they rebuilding with young guys. But what I would do is I would wait to see what this team is right before the trade deadline. Maybe a week before the trade deadline or 2 weeks before the trade deadline before I pull the trigger. Blake Griffin, I'm not knocking him and saying he fell off. He coming off a knee injury. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take time to knock the rust off. He didn't really get to enjoy camp. And when he was in camp, he had a little cold, a little flu, whatever. His knee, give him some time. But really, the Pistons don't have time. They don't. Because this East is more competitive than we thought we was. Charlotte, they in there, Philly, Indiana, Milwaukee, Boston. You know what I'm saying? So it's a competitive Eastern Conference, and it's a competitive league. So really, you don't want to rush Blake Griffin, but you don't want to give too much time neither, because at the end of the day, if you keep the core together, then you got to pay Reggie to keep him, or you let Reggie walk, or you got to hope to sign and trade Andre Drummond, or you lose Andre for nothing if you don't want to commit to paying him, because then he got you by the balls. Hey, pay me or I'm walking. I'm going somewhere else. And then again, it's maybe another team that may not want to sign Andre Drummond, but the way he played this year, especially before Blake and them came back, somebody gonna pay Andre Drummond that bread. They seeing all them 2020s and that he don't need the ball just to be effective. Those guys are at a premium in the league this year. You know, them guys that don't need the ball, that can still, you know, do other things, since the NBA is so isolation ball dominant. James Harden, LeBron James, somebody need an Andre Drummond. You know, but they really is playing with time. But if they start to hit their stride in January and they move the trade deadline up and they playing well and they on the streak, or they looking like at the 7th, 6th spot, they looking they can really hawk that 7th, 6th, and 5th spot, then you gamble and keep them together. But really, do you expect this team to go in and win you a playoff series? Time will only tell. Because if Blake playing how he can play and they manage the roles good enough, I'm telling you, they can win you a series together. You know? And they can help alleviate the Andre Drummond playoff woes. It can help alleviate Reggie Jackson playoff woes. You get the Reggie Jackson that was balling, you know, versus Cleveland in the playoffs a few years ago, that got him that contract. So you start to alleviate, you know, the pain, because Drummond ain't got to be the only guy out there doing it. And then you get Luke Kennard. He not getting they not double, triple teaming him this year, whatever, in the playoffs. So, you know, with everybody being healthy, everybody roles kind of fall back in place and make it easy on each other. If they go into the playoffs not healthy again, then, you know, they can't win. But I just think it's hella, I'm gonna say hella premature. If the Pistons blew it up right now, I would understand. But I would wait. I definitely would wait a couple about December, the rest of November, December. Last week in January is when I consider like moving and talking to people. And that depends on how they looking. But if Charlotte got the best deal for the franchise on the table at some point in time, then, you know, you pull the trigger on it, man. If not, if, you know, you can't get more than what I said, you know, you look at Atlanta, you can't get Hunter or Cam Reddish, or you can't get you know, John Collins III, or what, if he get past his performance and has some drug situation. You know, if you want to look to, you know, Nikola Vujovic, you want to make a deal, and maybe or you want to bring Mo Bamba, you know, maybe one of those two, and they get rid of Nikola Vujovic the next season. Or maybe you look to, you know, move him to Orlando or something like that. I mean, there's so many teams that can use a guy like Andre Drummond. You know what I'm saying? The Sacramento Kings is another team that's on the super come up. You don't think they can use Andre Drummond? You know, with Bojanovic and Buddy Hield and guys like that, man, and De'Aaron Fox, you know what I'm saying? They can use him. So it's a lot of teams out there that can use them. Boston can use them. You know what I'm saying? But is you really going to get what you want from Boston? They just paid Jaylen Brown all that money. Do you really want to settle for Gordon Hayward? No. And then you trade them into your conference at this point. You know, they really have nothing to offer unless they got draft picks. So, you know, for him to go to Boston, let's just talk for a minute, if I got time. For him to go through Boston, it's going to have to be a 3-team trade that facilitate more assets to the Pistons, unless they got some draft picks. For me to trade him to Boston, I'm going to need 3 ones. You know, off rip. It ain't no maybe 2. No, I need 3 ones for me to even take Gordon Hayward contract on. I need 3 ones, and I need like a Marcus Smart or somebody like that. If I can get Jaylen Brown, well, cool. I don't think that can happen, but Boston need him. You know, Boston definitely needs Andre Drummond. They ain't got nobody in the middle. Enes Kanter, like he a good bridge guy, but he ain't no anchor. I mean, you continue to look across the league and stuff of that nature. You know, obviously Lakers don't need him, Houston don't need him, the Clippers can use him, but hey, who they really gonna get you for him? You don't really get rid of Lewis Williams. Lewis Williams the only guy that they won't get rid of Lewis Williams. Not Kawhi, not Paul George. You don't want Montrezl Harrell. They don't have no assets. It don't work. So, you know, it's a lot of teams I'm not even probably thinking about that can make it. Toronto Raptors. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Gasol getting old, expiring contract. They still got draft picks. You can see, you know, Drummond going over there for OG Abawe. He balling this year. You know what I'm saying? And they can revisit the Kyle Lowry trade, which I doubt the Pistons will want Kyle Lowry if they're in the rebuilding phase. You know what I'm saying? But draft picks and young assets. They can keep Stanley Johnson though. So you just going to seeing what's what. You going to see what's what. Hey, you can look at the Chicago Bulls. You know, they looking to get rid of Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine. If you're looking at that type of situation, so like I said before, you can look at Portland. Expiring contract in Hassan Whiteside. Maybe they got some more assets. They desperate. So the market is booming for Andre Drummond. And the reason the market is booming for Andre Drummond is because of Andre Drummond. Let me say that first. That's the number one reason. The reason the market is booming for Andre Drummond is because of Andre Drummond. That's why. Andre Drummond effort and his ability and his stats, people looking at, oh man, I love to have. The price is going up on him. And it's a good chance the Pistons may want to build around him or with him. You know, but if that happens, Blake Griffin got to be out the door. You know, for them to really put the assets and the pieces around, cause for him to really get it done. But hey, man, the good Piston talk, man. If I got any Lion talk later, I come back, or any more news around the city, I come back. My condolences go to the cop, 18-year veteran that got killed the other night on Wyoming and Kentucky, man. You don't ever want to see nobody get stretched. You know, it's a lot of animosity between, you know, police and communities everywhere, but you know, a lot of times you forget that cops got families too, and they got a job to do. And I was watching somebody live stream, and they were saying that you gotta be a wolf to catch a wolf sometimes. And then all the time police don't play fair, but I seen that young black cop, man. He wasn't young. Was a young one, a 3-year veteran. He got shot, but I think he made it. But you know, they got a tough job to do, man. You know, people talk a lot of junk about the police, but you know, they need it. It's a tough job, and it's a lot of gray area between the police and the community. But I don't ever want to see nobody lose their life out here, because ain't no second chances. You know what I'm saying? And you know, unfortunately for him, 18 years on the force, and your 18th year, that happened. So if you ain't noticed, driving around Detroit, it's like hella hot. You know, yesterday I'm driving from Dearborn, and I'm seeing people slain, you know, getting pulled over on their hoods, and you know, they not playing no game. So if your L's ain't right, I definitely would tell you, like, driving through Detroit is like almost driving through the suburbs for a black guy. Because if your tags ain't together, you might as well call our Uber and Lyft and take that L in the wallet, because they going crazy out here after that happened. But my condolences go to him. It's Motor City Sports Talk. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation? That link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. And yeah, man, I still got the dogs for sale. I ain't selling them for I'm selling them for a little bit of nothing. I just need to get away. Check my social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter should be my last post. If you want to get a dog, they clean, drop them off. Not big dogs. My dog, it's the same mom and dad. It's my dog. If y'all seen him on the channel, he don't get big at all. They nice temperament, easy to train. I taught my dog sit, and I never trained a dog in my life. I taught him to sit in like a matter of like 20, 30 minutes working with him. So good dogs, protect the house, good around kids. So you want to holler at me, man, email me. Or if you can't find a post on social media, just email me, hit me up on DM me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And I can show you the pictures, and got the mom, the dad. I can go back to the granddaddy and the grandma if you want me to. Got all 4 of them. But hey, I appreciate the love, support once again. Check my other channel out, Goodfella Sports TV, for more music, sports, entertainment over there. Appreciate everybody checking me out on both platforms. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, Mercy Sports Talk. We gone.